Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. I trust we've had a good day. Welcome to the second episode of Africa Before Africa podcast. We're glad to have you in here with us today. So, as usual, I'm going to be introducing myself. My name is Muyolua Adege, Programs Officer for Africa Rising. And today on this episode, I have a guest in here with me. I'm going to be introducing her later on, but then we're going to be talking about Tanzania, most importantly, spotlighting the excellence and innovation that is happening in Tanzania. So I would want you to sit back and listen carefully to this interesting episode. So like I said, I am not in here alone today. I am with a beautiful lady, an intelligent lady, a global trotter, a boardroom wizard, HR person doing amazingly well. And most importantly, she is an African, precisely a Tanzanian. So I'm going to be bringing her on board now to have her introduce herself. Hello, Stephanie.
Hello, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you. Good evening. Thank you so much for making our time to be our guest for today. Trust your day has gone well.
Yes, I am well, and thank you for giving me this opportunity where I can actually speak about my country, Tanzania, and it is a platform where I can reach out to most of the people back home. And yes, looking forward to it.
Thank you. That's good. So, would you please introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do.
Sure.
Thanks.
So basically, my name is Steffi Fernandez. I was born and raised in Bukoba, and I had gone to India to complete my studies. I've completed my MBA, and currently I am in the UK. I have started my own HR consultancy firm. I have been in HR for the past 14 years of my life. I have worked for global companies, and the reason I have set up my own consultancy firm over here is because I always had my thinking that wherever I learn, whatever I've learned, I want to take it back to my country, because I know my Tanzania has got the potential. So being a daughter of Africa, being a daughter of Tanzania, I always have the aim of having creating the opportunity. So the aim of having this Esther Ware, a new startup that I have recently started, is because of creating new opportunities back home. So my aim also coming joining this platform and this session is to reach out to people to speak about Tanzania and what they have been doing over the years. What Because I do come across a lot of people asking, oh, what is there in Tanzania, what are the opportunities, what is the growth, especially in terms for the people. So I think there is a lot of opportunity as we go through the sessions. You will know, I'll be talking about various projects that Tanzania is coming up with and what Tanzania is all about.
All right. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful to know you're so happy and proud to be a Tanzanian. So you said the city you said you were born from or born in, is that in Tanzania or India?
No, I grew up in Bukoba. It's in the Kagera region.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so basically, I was born over there in Bukoba. That was near the shores of Lake Victoria in the Kagera regions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
a few things about Bukoba. It was like life in Bukoba was simple yet vibrant. The communities was knit together where everybody knew each other and a strong sense of unity.
Oh
So we
wow.
grew up with deep respect for traditions, learning from our elders, and participating in cultural ceremonies that celebrated the rhythms of life from harvest and marriages. So that is what I am actually carrying along with me wherever I am going. So that thing is still in me. So whenever there's yes, I am a girl from Bukoba. So yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for expatiating on that. So,
No.
thank you so much for coming around once again. We're glad to have you as our guest today. And then you're going to be our second guest, and we're more than delighted to have you speak about Tanzania, which you're proud to be a
Yes.
citizen and exactly. All right. So before we start having a conversation with you, I would be showing us, I mean, the audience, some beautiful pictures of different things in different places in Tanzania that I saw. And I was like, really? All these things in Tanzania. So how come when we go most of these African countries, we don't see these amazing things about them? So I'm going to be showing us that now.
Sure.
So right, the first picture obviously says welcome to
Oh,
Tanzania to let us know that these things are found in Tanzania. So on the net, I searched for the capital city of Tanzania, and then this was displayed. And I'm like, really looking at this view, all of this, like it's not even looking like an African country. But then I saw
exactly.
this, yeah, this looks really, really beautiful. The view, the buildings, the sea there, the sky, like the picture really did justice to the view. And then I saw this precious gemstone,
Then
and it really caught my attention. Like, oh my god, look at how beautiful this is. The picture isn't even doing justice. If the picture is this beautiful, I'm sure when I get to see it, or whoever gets to see it in real life,
yes,
would definitely be wowed with it. And I'm sure these are one of the things where whenever people visit Tanzania and they get to see this, they would definitely want to go back to their own country or wherever they came from with this kind of stones.
true, exactly.
And then I saw this, like all of they're really amazing. And then this the popular Kilimanjaro, like looking at
Kilimanjaro.
I remember back in secondary school, I learnt about this, and like obviously everything we get to know is the tall is the biggest mountain in Africa. But looking at this, this is like one of the pictures that I saw, like the snow on top of it, how
Yes,
big it is, how beautiful it is. I'm like, oh really? God has really blessed Africa with really amazing landscapes and all of that.
true.
And then the animals migrating, the zebra, and then the birds inside the
The
and
Maasai
this.
tribe.
Oh, really? When I saw it,
Yes.
I'm like, well, that looks good, but then I don't know what tribe it was.
It is Maasai tribe.
I think this is
You
probably one.
definitely have to go to try that.
Oh, really? How does it
Yes.
taste? Let's speak a little about it. How does it
Oh,
taste?
yes. Oh, it's amazing. Trust me. You're
Oh,
gonna forget everything. Yeah, you'll say that, yes, Karibu Tanzania.
that's good. Anyway, one of these days when I get to go there, I'll definitely have a taste of it.
Definitely.
Now, what tribe is this? Is it the same tribe you mentioned
It is the
earlier?
same tribe. Yes, it is the Maasai tribe.
Oh, so what are they doing? Are they kind of playing a game or what?
It is not playing a game. They are lighting a fire using that. They just have to rub that thing and then they lead the fire from there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
Yeah.
quite innovative.
Yes.
And I think this is one of the safari cars.
Yes.
And another thing I noticed about Tanzania is it has a lot of animals. I think the big five animals are actually in Tanzania.
That's true. Yes, it is. So that is why we have lots of national parks and all. And I think so, as you said, God has gifted Tanzania with that unique thing for us. Like, yes, we are blessed with a lot of natural things.
Okay, and then the cute
Yes.
animal.
Yeah, that's a
I
cute
think
one.
right. That's all of the pictures I have at the moment. Now, so
Oh,
we've
yes.
always been having the conversation. I looked at this and I'm like, this is really beautiful. These are not things that is easy to come by, like especially when the first thing I did while preparing for this podcast was I typed Tanzania on Google and see what it brought out. It didn't bring all of these things out at the first instance. I had to like let it know, okay, so give me beautiful places in Tanzania, give me beautiful views of different parks in Tanzania, give me the view of the capital city. And I'm looking at it from the angle that why do I need to tell you to do that? Why is it that at the moment when I typed Tanzania, why is it not bringing those good things, those beautiful views, those beautiful, good looking animals, the precious stone, and all of that? And it's really, it just got me thinking, why do you think that might be so? Like, all of those things, like the gemstone is the highlight of it for me. I looked at him like, really, this is so beautiful.
Yeah. So as I said, like, as we know that Tanzania is growing and we need as we have to create opportunities. As it's like whenever we go and tap on internet, like Tanzania or everything will come up. Like, they do not give significant information what we require. But as a person who has been born in Tanzania, who has lived in Tanzania for like 20 years of her life, I have known each and every part of Tanzania, and it is not what is depicted on internet every time. Tanzania is beautiful, like Zanzibar. There are beautiful beaches over there where you can even compare the western world to it. I would say that Zanzibar is the best, because I have friends who have actually traveled from the European countries to go to Zanzibar just to experience the beaches over there. It's like, Steffi, Zanzibar is beautiful. I'm like, yes, Tanzania is beautiful, trust me. So the thing is that how we portray our country, how what we put on internet, it is really really important. Like a city like Dar es Salaam, there is a lot of opportunities over there. But what is in Dar es Salaam, it's a business hub. There's a lot of companies that are growing up, they are coming up. There are entrepreneurs who are trying to create a lot of opportunities for people. So they are about the mining in Mwanza. So we do have Tanzanites as well over there. So those are, in every region you go in Tanzania, there is a kind of there is a specialty for that. For instance, if you come to my region in Bukoba, you will say they are senenes. So what are senenes? Are like, the little grasshoppers. Trust me, they are our staple food. So we really enjoy it. So our thing is, the foods, the warmth, the hospitality that Tanzania is bringing, we have to bring it out. And I think, like, people like us, people like, in Tanzania and across the globe, we are trying to portray that out to the world. I am in the UK, but the thing is that there is another person called Benjamin Fernandez as well, who has gone from Tanzania to the UK, studied in Harvard, and now he is a very successful person. He has gone back to Tanzania. So we are trying to portray our Tanzania in a certain way, like, yes, Tanzania has got it. So, like, it is an opportunity, and there is something that we are working on. So let's see how it goes by. This is just, but next time you log into Tanzania, Tanzania will be different, trust me.
Oh, really? I can't wait for that. Thank you so much
Yes.
for sharing. So let's have the
No worries.
conversation. Thank you so much for sharing.
No worries.
Quick one. Looking at the fact that you are a Tanzanian, so I was going to ask you to talk about your childhood as a Tanzanian, growing in Tanzania. How was it like? What stood out for you? How was the experience like generally?
Sure. So basically, growing up in Bukoba, a town nestled on the shores of Lake Victoria in the Kagera region, was a truly unique experience that shaped my perspective on life in so many ways. Bukoba, with its rolling hills and lush greenery, felt like the world where nature and communities were deeply intertwined. As a child, I remember waking up in the sounds of birds chirping, the cool breeze of lakes, and the fishermen casting their nest at dawn. These are some things that, we always read, but trust me, I have lived that life, and that was really amazing, because whenever we take a storybook, it's like, oh my, the birds chirping, and, the fishermen cast their nets, but I've seen it with my own eyes. And life in Bukoba was simple, yet vibrant. As I mentioned earlier, we were all closely knitted to with each other, the communities, because we knew, like, who is related to who, where we reached out to each other in terms of the needs and everything. So over the years, Bukoba and Tanzania as a whole have undergone significant changes. The once sleepy towns have seen the rise of infrastructure with the better roads, schools, and healthcare facilities. Technology has made its way into even the most remote corners, connecting us with the rest of the world in ways we could never have imagined back then. With the advancement and with the simplicity and the slow pace of life that I've cherished as a child, have given way to demands of modernity. So when I went back home 2 years back and I seen my school, it was completely so different. And I'm like, did I really study in this school? So there have been a lot of changes, but that is not spoken about as well. And it's so, I feel so proud to see those kind of advancement done in my own region. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Like it's worthy to note that really the fact that you get to experience what we normally would read in a book is actually really beautiful. And the fact that you said the community was closely knitted together, like it means that you guys kind of knew each other. There was this close and cordial relationship amongst you people, like the people living there then. And do you think it's still the same as of the present age, looking at the advancement of technology and all of that?
Absolutely and definitely, because when we have this community group for Bukoba, and trust me, it is not like being an Asian or, different races, but we are all knitted together. So whenever there is something happening in Bukoba, we always put in the group, this is happening on, because for me, I will give an example. My dad has a bakery back in Bukoba. It's called Bahaya Bakeries, and when they see me, like, as the daughter of Domingos Fernandez, that's like, oh, that's Domi's daughter. So, we have even, I would not know them, but if I say that my dad's name is Domingos Fernandez, it's like, oh, he's the guy, like, or you're the daughter. So the thing is that the way we are needed as family over there. So we can reach out to each other. Even some people have also moved from Bukoba to Dar es Salaam, Bukoba to Arusha, but we are connected, and we do have a community here in the UK from Bukoba as well. So they know my parents like way back even before I was born. So we have that
Right.
kind of connection. When we say community knit together, we are connected, and we know their grandparents, parents, it's just like how we evolved. And we also do have reunions as well, where we just cherish those memories back home and what we have. It's just like wherever we go, trust me, we will not lose our Tanzanian pride, or the one we which have the Bukoba spirit in us. Yes.
It's so beautiful. It's actually so beautiful to know that even outside Tanzania, the bond that
Yes.
you guys share still exists, and I am sure that the bond will transit to your children. Like, of course, they will become friends too, and then the bond just keep. That's really beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing how your childhood was like, the kind of things you enjoyed, and the kind of community that you had back then. So next to the next question I will be asking, I was thinking, is there any? Could you tell us about any invention or innovation happening in Tanzania or that has happened in Tanzania recently?
So basically, Tanzania has been witnessing a surge of innovation and creativity across various sectors in recent years, uh, driven by both technological and advancement and the new wave of entrepreneur spirit. One of the most notable areas of innovation has been in the tech sector, particularly in the mobile technology. For instance, mobile payment system like the M-Pesa have revolutionized how people access financial services, especially in the remote areas. The rise of remote banking has not only increased financial inclusion but also spurred in growth of small businesses, empowering many Tanzanians who previously lacked access to traditional banking. So previously what used to happen was even a shopkeeper never used to have the mobile and how to do the apps and all, but right now people are reaching out to the remote areas, giving that kind of opportunity. Because okay, I do understand people would not know what the bank is, how to save money, how to do this, but technologies like this have actually created opportunities even in the remote areas, which is really really good to see. And in addition to the advancement in the healthcare sector, one standout innovation is the Tiba Salama healthcare app. So, this mobile application is making a significant impact by providing accessible healthcare solution to underserved population in Tanzania. Developed with a focus of improving maternal and child care. Tiba Salama equips community healthcare workers with critical decision support tools right at their fingertips. So, this app offers features such as real time guidance on diagnosing and treating common health conditions, reminders for follow up visits, and tools for tracking patients' uh, health metrics. This has empowered healthcare workers to deliver more accurate and timely care, particularly in remote areas where access to traditional healthcare facilities may be limited. So, Antiba Salama is something that I am actually working on, uh,
Okay.
and it's a project that has been developed just over a year now, and it's a very good initiative by Simon, because to reach out to local communities, to local women out there in Tanzania who do not have access to hospitals and do not know what how to take care when they are
Yeah.
during the antenatal or post natal care. So this is an app where our healthcare workers do visit the remote areas and actually serve or help those people over there. So these are the things. So these examples show that Tanzania not only embracing innovation but also adopting to address the real world challenges faced by the people. The country's
Yeah.
youthful population combined with growing digital infrastructure is helping to foster a culture of creativity and problem solving that is driving these innovations forward. Tanzania's story is one of the resilience and adaptability, and a commitment to finding homegrown solution to global challenges, making it an exciting place for innovation today.
Thank you. You know what stood out for me is the fact that all of this in the two innovations you've talked about are kind of looking for a way to just address the local issues. So they're not just focusing on the urban city, focusing
Yes,
on the elites, on the educated, on
yes,
the rich people. They're looking at a way to solve these problems, the problems that the people living in rural areas are facing. And the beautiful thing is it's actually Tanzanians doing these things, in making these
True.
innovations. So they're not having to leave Tanzania, or they're not having to go outside abroad to go have someone help them solve these problems. So they are identifying the problems and they are preferring solutions to it. It shows how amazing and intelligent Tanzanians are actually. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. And a good work you're doing
My
with Timber Salat, actually. It's actually
yes,
beautiful to have healthcare at the tip of our fingers recently. We don't have to
yes,
wait till things get worse before we find solutions to them. Thank you so much
yes.
for that.
No worries.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So now, like, okay, say for instance, when people, I am a Nigerian actually. So when people come to Nigeria, when people want to come down to Nigeria to for tourism, I can mention different places, different tourist centers that people can get to visit. Can you tell us some about Tanzania also, and what people can do when they visit the place? This is still in a bit to show the world that there are amazing things and amazing places that one can visit. We don't have to go to all of this Western places or countries before we get to have fun. We could have fun within Africa. We could have fun within different countries in Africa, even within Tanzania. For people that are living in Tanzania, they can have all the fun they want to have. Thank you.
Okay, so basically, Tanzania stands out to be the most top destination for travelers seeking unique and unforgettable experience due to its stunning diversity of landscape, rich cultural heritage, and wildlife encounters. So the first thing, even if a tourist visits our Tanzania, is the first thing is they have to experience the majestic natural wonders. So basically, Tanzania's natural beauty is nothing shortened by breathtaking, home to the iconic Mount Kilimanjaro, as we showed in the picture, Africa's highest peak, and the expansive Serengeti National Park, renowned with its incredible annual migration of wildebeest and zebras. Tanzania offers a playground for nature enthusiasts and nature seekers, the Gorongoro craters, so the cellular game. So these are some of the places where people actually go for safaris, and that is one of the things that they should not miss out in their itineraries. So this is something that they have to visit. The second one, I would say, the beaches and the islands. The coastline of Tanzania is graced with some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Zanzibar, with its pristine white sands and turquoise water, is a paradise for beach lovers and water sports enthusiasts. Pemba Island and Mafia as well is something they can actually visit. So now,
Okay.
what I have actually encountered in the last few years, people do wedding destination, and Zanzibar Mafia has been a destination, and trust me, it is so beautiful over there. So apart from traveling over there, people do go, for to capture their precious moments for life. Like, I have been there. So that's the thing. And another one would be uh s- mm, I would say about the Tanzania is a treasure trove of activities, from climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, a challenging yet rewarding trek of Tanzania's rooftop, to exploring the vast wilderness of Serengeti on the hot air balloon safaris. And options are endless. The country also offers opportunity of thrilling walking safaris guided by expert rangers, and provide a closer look at the flora and fauna. So these are the main things I would definitely recommend people who are traveling from the Western world or anyhow globally to Tanzania, because anybody, whoever is my friend or in my networks, like, okay, what's so special in Tanzania? So these are the things that okay, you have to do this, like, go to a safari, visit Zanzibar or the Mafia Island, or Kilimanjaro. So those are the things that
Yeah.
they should not miss out in Tanzania, to be honest.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, about the Zanzibar, actually, I hear a lot of people going on a trip there, and I'm like, oh, really? Well, I get to see the pictures, and really, I dream of going there one of these days, and I'll definitely make our time to go there. So, a quick one. I would want you to talk about the beauty of of Tanzanian culture, like the beauty of the culture. If you can talk about the culture in general, you could talk about the beauty of your own culture as a Tanzanian.
So basically, I would say that Tanzanian culture is something that has instilled in me ever since I was born. it's like, okay, I am a Goan, I come, we have a certain way how we have to behave, the culture is so different from the African. But for me, even at home with my kids, I always instill the African culture, the Tanzanian culture. I always have the African interiors in my house. So I always keep the Tanzanian culture alive in myself and in my house as well. And wherever I depict my, I mean, whenever I go out, I share my views, what I feel, and the way I work out as well. It just a Tanzanian speaking out, and how we are being born and brought up. It's just like we want to create that opportunities, as you correctly said earlier, like, even those communities or local problems that the local Tanzanians are actually Tanzanians are actually facing, and coming up with a solution. This is one thing. We want that kind of opportunity. We need that kind of stage, that platform. That is why, like, as a Tanzanian, I got the opportunity to travel the world, to get to know people, to network with people. So this is how I want to take it back, and having that kind of culture, saying that, okay, wherever I am, I'm going to be a proud Tanzanian, and this is my culture, no matter where I am, be it in my language, be it in my food, it will all be seen in that, even in my dressing. So there is nothing that is different from, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking about that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then as a Nigerian, I know that, of course, you've touched about it, but I want you to speak more about it. I know how welcoming we are, how loving we are of different people, of different cultures, different races. Like, once you see a typical Nigerian would, if anyone comes into Nigeria today, you see how much we rally around them, you see how much we cater for them, how much we just ensure that their stay is peaceful, their stay is enjoyable, and they would definitely want to come back to Nigeria at every given opportunity that they have. Would you say the same thing about Tanzania?
Definitely, trust me. People who have gone to Tanzania once, they would really want to have in their travel plan for the next year. And that is so much true, because the thing is that the hospitality, the warmth that Tanzanian people are giving out to the visitors or the tourists, it's amazing. It is on another level. Because even on the streets of Zanzibar, you would say, "Oh, karibu, jambo, habari gani." So those are the words that even Mzungu that would say, like, habari gani, jambo, and these are very unique words. But the warmth, the hospitality, the welcoming attitude of the Tanzanians are really, it's above and beyond, I can say, trust me. And it's just like, you actually feel at home. And me going to Tanzania, and whenever I walk to the streets of Zanzibar or Dar es Salaam, I would say it's safer for us as well, because we do not have a fear like, okay, who's going to be doing what. So the safety is there, the warmth is there. We always feel, we are at home. So it's not we are like, okay, we are from a certain part of the world and we are going just to visit. We are made to feel at home. Even the food is being served in a certain way. It's just like you feel that you are back home, and you just feel like going back home. That's the only thing. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so good. That's so good to know. Thank you. Then, in your view, how do you think how do you think the Tanzanian support the emerging talent or the exceptional minds that are just emerging? Like, what kind of support do they make available to them? Like the young ones, the young generation that they've noticed that this is an exceptional mind, this is an exceptional talent that needs to be nurtured rightly. What kind of support do you think they make available to them?
Okay. Tanzania's approach in nurturing and supporting exceptional talent is multifaceted system that combines traditional values with modern innovation. So this dynamic framework is designed to identify, develop, and sustain talents across various sectors, ensuring that individuals with potentials can thrive and contribute to both national and global advancement. So, in terms of education and skills development, the Tanzanian educational system plays a vital role in identifying and nurturing talents from a young age. Recent reforms focus on enhancing educational quality and accessibility. So, the introduction of advanced curricular, vocational training programs, and partnership with international educational institutions help students acquire the skills necessary for a globalized economy. So, in terms of the government and private sector initiative, Tanzania's government, in collaboration with the private sectors, have launched several initiatives in support exceptional talent. The Tanzanian Innovation Hub, for example, provides a platform for young entrepreneurs and innovators to develop their ideas and find and access funding, mentorship, and networking opportunities. Additionally, the National Skills Development Strategy focuses on aligning educational output with market needs, ensuring the graduates possess relevant skills for the job market. In terms of the technology and innovative ecosystem, in the tech sector, Tanzania has fostered a vibrant innovation ecosystem. Initiatives like the Dar es Salaam Tech Hub and Arusha Digital Innovation Center are crucial in supporting tech setups and entrepreneurs. These hubs offer resources such as co-working spaces, funding opportunities, and mentorship programs which are essential for nurturing tech talents and fostering innovation. So the examples that I have set out is like whenever young entrepreneur in Tanzania tries to come up with an idea, we do have an institution or a platform that actually supports our ideas. So that is what Tanzania is growing. It is coming up, and there are a lot of institutions, there are a lot of providers that are not being mentioned on internet. They are not being given that kind of visibility. They are not given that kind of credibility what they are actually trying to do. So it is just like how we how we come up and talk about this kind of institutions, how they help them. So for instance, the Tanzanian Tech Hub, Arusha Digital Innovation Center, those are the ones which actually help the tech people to come up with their ideas, how we can actually be the best in technology and solving the problems within our country, rather than seeking help from the other parts of the globe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful
No.
to know that the government, the society, Tanzanians are supporting these talents to ensure that they are brought to the front because, of course, they need the support, they need the
Yes.
encouragement needed to actually be what they want to be. And at the end of the day, when they get all of this support and encouragement, it still brings glory, it still brings recognition back to the country because, of course, the country cannot shine by itself. It's the people from the country doing exceptionally well that will bring things to the country. Thank you so much for that. Now, I was going to be asking in terms of music and all of that. Can you talk about Tanzania musicians, how they're doing well, and if, for instance, they're gaining international recognition?
Yes, Tanzanian music is so different. Wherever you hear it, you just feel like dancing and tapping your feet wherever you are, to be honest. And nowadays, the Tanzanian artists are growing. They are matching up with the standards with the Western world as well. So it is just like how the new technology, how it in advancement in music or the the sector, how they have improvised. Because if you take example of Dinamita, she is a Tanzanian born to a mother and the father is an Italian. Trust me, you have to hear her music. She is an incredible singer. She's just 13 or 14 years old. So we have such amazing talents, and the music in Tanzania is really good, and it is actually like we cannot match up the music of Tanzania to any of the music around the world. It's just
That's
that.
good. Thank you. All right. So one of our audience have a question for you. She said, "What's your favorite childhood story or folktale?
Sorry.
What's your favorite childhood story or folktale?"
Oh wow, that would be back in Tanzania, in Bukoba, when I was in my schooling days, and we had to, when it used to be rainy season, we used to go in the fields to catch senenes. So senenes are the grasshoppers. So we used to go in the fields and catch the grasshoppers, and we used to go home and just cook them. So that was something that we really enjoyed, and we were waiting for the rains to come so that we catch those senenes, because there were such delicacies. And now I do really miss them. Like I really want to go back and catch those energies. Because I was telling my kids, we used to eat grasshoppers, and I'm like, Mom, are you really eating grasshoppers? I'm like, don't say those grasshoppers. Those are delicacies for us. We used to hold them, used to touch them, used to clean them and just bake and eat. Trust me, I do miss that. And that's one of
Mm,
the things I really want to relive, I can say.
really want to go back there and go eat
Yeah,
some grasshopper.
exactly. Yes, in those fields, in that water, muddy water, you just go and catch those grasshoppers and yes, I got them. Yes, I do miss that
Right.
moment.
That's good. Maybe one of those days when you go with your kids, you give them to eat so they know it tastes nice, according to
Oh,
you. Thank you
yeah.
so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much. So now this is
Yeah.
going to be the last question for the day. Okay, so we have another question. Oyeyemi says, "How many tourist center is in Tanzania?" That's
Um, So basically, there are various tourist centers in Tanzania. But what regions are you looking at? Because if you go to Dar es Salaam, they will have their own tourist centers. So what kind of tourist centers and which part of region are you looking at? Because every region would be having their own tourist center. For instance, in Zanzibar, they're amazing. There'll be about 20 of them in Zanzibar, in Dar es Salaam. Maybe there will be 15 plus. So it depends on what region are you looking at and what sort of activities or what sort of information you're looking at.
about that actually. That's actually so commendable for one city to have about 20 tourist centers. Now the tourist centers have they been kind of modernized? Because for instance, in Nigeria, there are some of the tourist centers that are kind of modernized already. Like they're still fun places to be with, but then when you get there, there's a little bit of modernism in it. Is it the same thing in Tanzania also? Say for instance, maybe there's like a local mountain that has an historical story behind it. Probably it has been modernized so that there are now steps on it, there's now lift on it, and all of that.
Yes. So I recently had a conversation with a friend who had recently gone to Tanga. So there is a cave. I can't just recall the name, but the thing is that I had gone to this cave, say about 15 years back, and the story that I heard from my friend like a few weeks back was totally different. It said, Steffi, you know what? The cave has been renovated. It has been modernized in such a way, like, it has become a tourist attraction. So yes, people are looking into these kinds of places where we can actually modernize but still keep those memories and just keep that culture or ancient findings and everything. So yes, there are some tourist places where they are being modernized, but yet we always keep the heritage or the history behind it. Even if you go to Zanzibar, if you see the prison island, they have retained those, those jails and where people were there, but there is a hotel over there where people can stay. Because when I heard the stories, like, leprosy people were, thrown in the jail, I'm like, I wouldn't even dare to go there. But after listening to the story, how it has been modernized, there is a cafe, there is a hotel, you can actually enjoy a meal with your family over there. So this is kind of modernization that I have seen in tourist centers in Tanzania, to be honest. Yeah.
That's good. So another audience actually asked the question I was going to be asking. So she said you should teach us some Tanzanian language to help settle. So she's planning to travel to Tanzania very soon, and she wants like basic, of course, basic Tanzania language, probably the greeting and the gestures and all of that.
Yes. So the main thing when you go, it's shikamo, where we say shikamo for the elders, which says how are you, and jambo is hello to anybody you meet at a younger age, and habari gani is how are you doing. Karibu sana is thank you so much. So let me know what exactly you are looking for that I can reach out to you. I'm like, I don't mind teaching my own language
What,
to other
what if
other people. So yes.
what if I get there and I'm hungry? How would I tell them I am hungry?
So when you're
Or how
saying
about if I want to introduce myself, like my name is
okay, so you say jina langu ni Steffi Fernandez. Jina langu ni Steffi Fernandez. So my name is Steffi Fernandez.
okay. Then what of if I want to ask for your name? What is your name?
Okay, jina lako ni nini?
Why is everything sounding similar?
No worries, you will learn it. It is Jina Lako Ninini.
Ah, okay, repeat what you said. How are you? I'm
I
going to
just
try
said,
to repeat that.
okay, it's Gina,
Gina,
Lako, Lako,
Lako, Lako,
Ninini, Ninini.
Ninini,
Yeah.
Ninini. Okay, so I said that is Gina, Nako, Ninini. So when I get to Tanzania, I have one sentence to say. I'll learn more before I leave the place.
Yeah, definitely. You can reach out to me anytime. Trust me. I'll be your guide and a translator.
All
Anytime.
right. So I have a teacher already. So really,
Oh, yes,
all is
definitely.
just to book my flights and then straight up to
Oh,
Tanzania. I
yes.
can't. Right.
I'm
So this
proud
is
of
good.
my language.
Right. That's good. I am too. Actually, it's a good thing to actually be able to speak your language and all of that.
Yes.
Okay. So she said, is this correct? The spelling Gina Lanko Ninini.
Yes. Jina lako ni nini? Yes.
That's good. And that is how. What's the English version of that? Imagine I forgot.
What is your name?
What? Okay. So what is your name? So Gina Lanko
Lako
Nini
ni
Muyu.
nini?
That's good.
Yes.
I have one already. All right. So if if
Good.
if you would want to give me a Tanzania name, what name would you give me? So I would use that name when I go there.
They always say Mama. Mama is somebody they always respect no matter what age you are. But whenever they go, they say like Mama habari gani. So Mama, like, how are you doing? So this is kind of
Okay.
a respect they actually give for people over there. And even if not Mama, they say Ndugu. So Ndugu meaning like sister or brother. So it is a kind of a name that can be used for a male or a female. So Ndugu is something very respectful, and it's kind of very warm, very family kind of a name. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to be rounding up very soon. So the last thing I
Yes.
want us to talk about is, of course, there's so many African countries, but what makes Tanzania unique from the other African countries? From
I
Nigeria,
can
from Ghana,
say,
from Kenya.
as you rightly say, during the in start of this session, you said, God has gifted Tanzania with lots of beauties, and I cannot stop talking about them. For instance, the first thing would be the natural wonders. So like the Mount Kilimanjaro. Everybody, even if you fly through to Arusha, across to Dar es Salaam, you can actually see the Mount Kilimanjaro. This is one thing that actually makes us unique. And the Zanzibar history. So I'm not kind of an history person, but the thing is that Zanzibar has got a lot of history, to learn, and it is really interesting for people to know what Zanzibar is all about. Like, and even the foods in Zanzibar, what they have, they serve and everything is kind of very Arabic. Even the halwa which we have over there, there are certain words that they normally use, like shukran. Shukrani is thank you, and in Arabic shukran is same thing. So there are so many history things that we can actually learn. And then there would be like cultural richnesses. For instance, Sauti is Busara, which is a musical festival that happens always in Zanzibar, showcasing the rich musical heritage of the Swahili coast. And definitely I would say the safari. So basically the Serengeti National Park and the Gorongoro craters. So this is something that actually stands us out. Like anybody wherever is like, where do you go for safaris? Of course, Tanzania. So where else in the world? Can you just give me a name? Like, or it's like, yeah, it's in Tanzania. So yeah. So I would say another would, if somebody would be interested, would be the historical significance, where there is a place called Bagamoyo. So that holds a historical significance as a key port of East African slave trade and an important site in the spread of Islam in the region. So this rich history adds depth to the cultural experience offered in Tanzania. And definitely my language, as I say, Swahili language. So this has been originated in Tanzania, that
Oh,
unifies forces across East Africa. Its widespread use and influence extends beyond Tanzania borders, shaping communication and cultural exchange in the region. Yes, and
thank
that
you so
makes
much.
us unique.
Right. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. It's a unique country all by itself. Thank you so much. So we have another question. What she says, Grace says, what particular meal is well known in Tanzania? Say, for instance, whoever goes to Tanzania today must definitely want to taste that meal. What meal is that? And what is it
I
made
would
of?
Yes. So basically, definitely try ugali. So ugali is something that is made of
Mm,
maize. That is something, it's a staple food for us. And bananas. So you could say matoke with samaki or matoke with nyama. So matoke with samaki is bananas with fish. And with the ndizi is with the meat. So staple foods are ugali and matokes. Those are the things that you really have to try. And if you want some afternoon snack or morning breakfast, I would definitely recommend vitumbuas.
okay.
I'm feeling hungry now. Okay.
So that means if I am on the fit farm diet, if I get to go to Tanzania, I would definitely stop that.
No, trust me, it
Right.
doesn't make you fat. It is really, really delicious and it
Okay.
is healthy. It is healthy.
That's good. That's good. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much. Yes, I was going to ask before that. What's that one festival that happens in Tanzania that is like a nationwide festival that everyone, even people from other countries, would
Yes.
want to come to that? Yeah. What's that? What's the call? What's the
Uh,
festival?
It is the Sauti ya Busara, which actually happens in Zanzibar every year. So people globally do visit Zanzibar, where they showcase the music, the talents from Tanzania to that place. So that festival happens every year in Zanzibar, and that is one of the recognized festivals that is always happening. Yeah.
Okay. So what happens during the festival? What's the festival about itself?
It's like many different different artists do come, they perform on the stage, they sing out, there's live performance, you get to meet the artist on the stage or in person. So it's just a network where all the artists come together and showcase, like because I always felt like Tanzanian culture has always been portrayed through music as well. So whenever you
Okay.
hear a music, it's like, okay, this is how we portray our culture. Even in terms when somebody's wedding is there or any ceremonies, we always sing out, or it is said through music. So for us, music is everything in Tanzania.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making our time. Thank you so much for letting us know a little about Tanzania. And then we're definitely, I'm sure everyone on this podcast will definitely be looking forward to visiting Tanzania, including myself from the beautiful. Okay, so we have another question. Can you sing your favorite song right now?
Oh my God, I'm a bad singer. And I would definitely say that Malaika is something that we always sing.
Okay, so sing.
Malaika, nakupenda Malaika. Malaika, nakupenda Malaika. That's it. I'm a bad singer. Sorry.
Right, okay, so if you would interpret that in English, what is that? What does it mean?
My angel, I love you. That is a very famous song. Yeah.
Okay. And then when you were singing it, it's the tone is like a tone of a song that I know, and the song is My Lifetime. I would give God my lifetime. So
Oh,
I was
okay.
thinking that was gonna be the interpretation. After I said, okay, so interpret. Let me know if that is the Tanzanian version of the song. Thank you so much. And then
Yes.
you're not
No
that
worries. No worries.
not a good
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making our time to join us on this episode. We're so glad
Thank
to
you so
have
much, my friend.
you. We're so glad to share of Tanzanian's culture, and I'm so happy to actually see someone that is so proud of their country, of their culture, and is going to go all out, like all out to speak good and amazing things about it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We're glad to have you, and then we would please, for everyone streaming on YouTube, please follow us, subscribe, and turn on the notification button to when next we're live for for another episode of podcast, you would definitely get the notification. Thank you so much once again for joining. Thank you for making our time this evening to be with us. Remember, same time in the next 2 weeks, we'll come live again for this podcast. This time around, like I said the last time, you really can't predict who I'm going to be bringing on board. So stay tuned. Definitely, you will get to know the person. You never can tell if it's a Ghanaian this time, but then I'm not going to tell you who the person is until that day. Thank you so much, Steffi. Thank you so much. We're glad to have you.
Thank
Do
you.
enjoy the rest of your evening and have a restful weekend.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you.